The conditions for first-time home buyers have become a lot more favorable than they were even 6 months ago.
Live behind decisions I chose. Peaks feel good and the valleys get low. Chains for the tires and the rain, hail, snows. Like this everywhere that I go, everywhere that I go.
Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker, and guess what? Another opportunity knocks. I think this is an interesting market for first-time home buyers to actually get their feet in there. Again, I'm not trying to talk to anybody and convince them to buy real estate, but if you're already there, you're a first-time home buyer and you're considering to buy real estate or you're in the process of buying real estate, maybe this video will help you along a little bit. So basically the way that real estate has been for first-time home buyers in the past 2 years has been very difficult for you guys to get in for many factors. One thing was with the lower inventory, we were getting into multiple offer situations all across the board. And with first-time home buyers and the way that the offers had to be structured in a lot of cases, they would have been firm offers. So you wouldn't be able to really put in any conditions. You could, but you wouldn't get that property. For first-time home buyers, you were told that more or less you could not put in a financing condition, so no mortgage approval condition, and you could not have a home inspection condition, and in some cases, even with condominiums where you had a status certificate, you couldn't even put in that condition to have it reviewed. So you really had to do a lot of due diligence and take a lot more risk than you would actually have to at this point right now. The conditions for first-time home buyers have become a lot more favorable than they were even 6 months ago. So one of the things, like I already mentioned, is that more than likely you're gonna be able to put conditions in this offer, okay? Not only that you probably have a pre-approval done, now you can finish that second step with the bank, because what we've talked about in the past, mortgage is a two-step approval. You're gonna get your pre-approval, that's gonna check you out, okay? You, your credit, your job, your liabilities, and say what you could purchase with that. The second part of an approval is the actual property itself. The bank has to be comfortable with that property that you're purchasing, okay? So you're gonna be able to do that correctly. The next thing is that you're gonna be able to do a home inspection. It's not to do a home inspection to basically say, we're gonna find all the faults and go after the seller and trying to get a reduction in price. It's not for that. I mean, it's good if we can catch things like this and whatnot, but a lot of good things come with a good home inspector, which is they're gonna actually tell you how to maintain the house. Even look at things that are not necessarily defective but have wear and tear on them, and for you to be able to correct those so you can avoid having a bigger problem down in the future as well. So that home inspection condition is going to be very valuable to you first-time home buyers. The other thing also is that status certificate if you're buying into a condominium corporation. This is the piece that I really would not want to budge on even in a hot market, okay? And if you were going to budge on not putting that condition is that I would really insist to have that status certificate well in advance so we can have the lawyer review it. But now you're likely going to be able to put a condition in there that says that the seller has to provide you the status certificate, and you got 2 or 3 business days to have your lawyer review it. Whereas in the past market, you would really have to be able to judge based on last sales, talk to people about the building, a lot more risk over there. The status certificate, for you guys don't know, it actually really gives you a lot of details about the condominium corporation. And in a nutshell, you're buying into a condominium corporation. That means that any of the liabilities or even the surpluses that they have, you're going to be associated with them and tie into them, okay? So you want to know, is somebody suing the building? Are we suing somebody? Do we have enough money to operate? What if our elevators break down? Are we going to have to pay out of pocket, or do they have money in there to cover these type of expenses? So very, very important, especially for a first-time home buyer, because likely you don't have much financial flexibility once you do buy this property, okay? So huge component here, guys, is you're going to be able to put your conditions in there. Another thing that kind of ties back to conditions but gives you a little bit more security at this point is the appraisals, okay? We saw a lot of issues with appraisals before. You purchased a property for $1 million, but the bank is saying this property is $850,000 or $900,000. And if you're a first-time home buyer, you probably would not be able to close on that transaction because you would have to come up with so much more money, and you were taking that risk. So you really would have had to have a lot more of a buffer, not knowing where the appraisal was going to come on this property as well. The third point here is that the pricing overall has come down. It's gone down more than 20% on average. But even if we look at that 20%, okay? So if you were going to look at $1 million property as a first-time home buyer, because you can kind of stay under that 20% down payment that you would require if you were over $1 million. So, there were some properties we sold $1 under $1 million just so you can get away with putting less than 20% down. While those $1 million properties right now are $800,000 or $75,000. And guess what? That $1.2 million property is now, $960,000-ish, okay? So you could actually even buy a better property, or you could end up paying less. And you have more chances of possibly buying a better property if you're okay with spending the money on it and, you know, getting a better property and not still having to put that 20% down. I'm not encouraging this, but this is a financial decision you're going to have to make based on yourself. Like I tell everybody, real estate is a long-term investment, okay? I don't see buying real estate for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years and saying I'm going to flip it. For me personally, I look at it and say I'm never going to sell it, okay? Or it's going to be a long-term hold, 10, 15, 20 years. But even for anyone else that's just kind of getting in the market, they need somewhere to live, they know that they're probably going to want to upgrade in the future, I'd say at least 5 years. I think 7 years is a good bet to kind of say I'm going to be here for this, you know, at this property. I'm comfortable with what it is. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions about this, if you're a first-time home buyer, there's a lot of stuff to kind of go through. The 3 points, again, just to quickly recap, that will benefit you because opportunity is knocking for you, is that you're going to be able to put conditions in your offer. You're going to be not so stressed out about an appraisal value because things have stabilized. We have enough sales to kind of tell you that you're going to be able to get this thing approved. And the other thing is that the prices have come down 20-25% across the board. So either you're going to be able to buy something for less, or you're going to be able to buy something more than what you would have been able to buy in your original budget. If you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And if you have liked this video, which I can't see how you couldn't have, I would encourage you to like it, share it with your friends, help them out too, and most importantly, subscribe. We have a lot of cool content coming up, and I don't want you guys to miss out on it. Again, until next time, remember one thing, get Kabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.